Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel, which is Cozy Crafts with Louise, where I primarily look at cross stitch. There may be a few other crafts along the way, possibly blackwork, knitting, diamond painting, but the focus is most definitely going to be on cross stitch. Although I have spent many years cross stitching, doing counted cross stitch, last year, maybe the year before, I discovered stamped cross stitch and I absolutely love it. I love that I don't have to think as hard. I don't have to count where my next stitch needs to go. I can just see from the symbol exactly where it should be. What I didn't like so much was the quality of cross stitches that were available in stamped patterns. Not just for the fact that there was some pretty bad symbols in there that were really difficult to see, but also the fact that the rendering wasn't great on a lot of those, and the finished image would be nothing like what it had been promised on the packet. So I decided, as you do, to set up my own company using licensed artwork, rendering to the same level as what you would get on a counted kit. And another very important thing for me was licensed artwork. I'm sure a lot of you are aware that an awful lot of stamped cross stitch pieces are stolen images, both from other artists and also from other companies. A number of places I have seen selling images which have been charted by Head. How do you pronounce that? Heaven and Earth Designs. There are so many of theirs available in the stamped world, which neither Michelle or the original artist gets the credit for, which I didn't really like. So I set up a Stamp Stitch Club in order to be able to chart work by artists and have them get recognition for their artwork, and so that there would be decent quality available. This pattern that I'm working on at the moment is by Dakota Daetwiler, I believe. I hope that's pronunciation right. I'm not very good at pronunciation. This is Breakfast Club, and this is my focus piece. I stitch it on 16 count, 2 over 1 full cross, and I love coverage that I get with it. You can see very little of the background through at this point, and when I come to actually wash it at the end, a couple of years from now, it will shrink slightly and the stitches will fluff up a little bit more, and you won't be able to see any background through it at all. As well, we're obviously looking at this very close up. Once it is on a wall, you probably won't even be able to see the stitches, the fact that it is stitched, let alone any gaps between them. So this is going to be a gift for my sister-in-law's 60th birthday. Her house is just full of all things cows, and as soon as I saw this image, I knew it was one that she would love. I did actually start this a few years ago. It used to be available through Heaven and Earth. It was a lot bigger than this one, and I did purchase it from them, and I got about 30,000 stitches through. But being counted, I had done it by colour, doing all of the black first, and I'd miscounted somewhere along the way, and I had about 3,000 stitches to frog, and it really put me off, so it went into timeout for quite a while, and has never actually come back out, because since then I have charted this one, which is smaller than the Heaven and Earth design one. I still think it's got as much detail in it, and obviously being stamped, there is no chance at all that I am going to miscount. So, one down here. Oops. As you can see, I am parking for this. I'm working in 50 by 10 squares down here, so doing 500 stitches at a time and parking in a square below. I've tried it. Looking around, you'll see. I'll show you a full piece later. I've tried a few different methods on this one, and this is what I have become most comfortable with. I like the organisation of parking. I like that you can see where it is that you are going. See the pattern coming up quite easily. So this is one. I'm going to come down here till I get to 100, and then I'm going to come across here and slowly work my way across. I'm hoping that by the end of this month I will have finished this section here and possibly that section there until my bumblebee, but we'll see how it goes. In order to get this done in time for my sister-in-law's 60th birthday, not until 2030, but I need to get roughly 4,000 stitches a month in. So I've actually set myself a target of 4,500 a month. My thoughts being that there'll be times when life takes over, I'm too busy doing other things, and I'm on holiday, that I won't hit that target. So by having it slightly higher, it gives me a little bit of wiggle room going forwards. So I'm going to show you the full image, the full mock-up of what this will look like in the end. This very much reminds me of looking out of my sister-in-law's living room window. She has a field of cows right in front of the window. She also in the background has Flemish Mountain, which is in Northern Ireland where I live. So as soon as I saw this, I knew it was the perfect image for her and this 16 count, although it is big, I think it's actually the perfect size for on her walls once it is complete. But, as I said, this is my focus piece. I do try and stitch on it most days. However, the start of this month has been a disaster and I didn't get any stitching done whatsoever on it. I picked it up yesterday and I'm probably sat at around 700 stitches now for the month. Very much need to get some more done on it. Can you hear that behind me? Not the sirens. I usually do this sat on a lazy boy. This is the bed frame. So usually I have it sat over my knee. But my cat has ousted me from my chair and he sat right behind me, snoring very loudly. So apologies if you can hear that. He is snoring away there quite happily. So I'm doing this on, obviously stamped on 16 count. This is also available as a PDF. Can be done on whatever count you would prefer. In stamp, it is available in 11, 14, 16 and 18 count. Obviously counted. You can choose to do whatever count you would prefer. I use Pattern Keeper along with my stamp kit. Not because of any issues with seeing the symbols, obviously. You can see them there, they're all very, very clear. But especially with this one, I need to know that I am on track to get this done in time. It's very hard to tell when a piece is this big, whether you have actually done enough each month to make it through. A few years ago, I did Amy Stewart's Birds and Bloom Garden for my mum's 70th birthday, and I thought I had loads of time to get it done. And about 12 months before, I realised I actually hadn't got enough time to do all of it, and I had to swap to the mini. And I was never as happy with the details in the mini as what was in the full, well, the regular size. So I don't want to make that mistake again. So using Pattern Keeper allows me to just keep track of how many stitches I've done, how far through I am, whether I am likely to finish on time. I also use Stitching Pal. So Pattern Keeper only shows you how many stitches you've done that day. Stitch Pal, you can put in each day how many stitches you have completed, and it will work out from that your average stitches per day and what your projected end date is. You can also say, I want to finish by X date, and it will tell you how many stitches per day that you need to do in order to achieve that. But I use a combination of both of those. other thing that I like about using Pattern Keeper is it allows me to see whereabouts I am going to go next. So it doesn't particularly once I'm stitching, I don't use it at all for looking at the symbols. I don't need that. Obviously, if they're right in front of me, it'd be too time consuming to look over. But what it does allow me to do is go, right, I'm in this area, whereabouts does this symbol go to? What's the best path through for me? What makes the most sense? I started doing this piece. I was going to do just all of the black first and then move into different colours. And I did do all of the black in the first 100 rows. But I got very bored. So then I came back over to this side and started doing the sky, which I did quite enjoy. I like how it actually looks better when you're stitching than what it does on the mock-up. The colours blend a lot better, and that's obviously the idea with the differing in it. So I did quite enjoy that, but it wasn't showing an awful lot. So then I moved down to the bird that's at the top, and I've done the body of the bird and one wing. But this is going to sound strange. There was too much thought process in it. Where should I go next? What symbol should I do next? What should I be looking at? And I don't like to think too much when I'm stitching. I just like to go, right, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm moving on to, and just get on with it. That's why I've moved into parking and doing it in blocks. So with the 50 by 10, I've got a good chunk to work on. There's not too much stopping and starting for changing colours. And you can quite quickly see the image coming together. So I'm actually really enjoying stitching this way. I find it really relaxing. And I'm just powering through. I like that with these charts. Symbols are really, really clear. There's no confusion. Am I stitching this one? Should it be that one? What colour is this? You can just see what it is. You don't have to take photos of the original chart and enlarge them, which there's kits that I've had before where I actually spent more time looking at my phone to see what I should be stitching than actually stitching, and that's something that I really, really didn't want. So this is my focus piece. You will be seeing a lot of it in the future, but tomorrow I will be back and I will be showing you one of my other pieces. Not entirely sure how I'm going to film that one yet, as it's not on a stand, so it won't be a stitching video, but I will show you the details. I have two other quite large full coverage pieces. I have one small, still full coverage, and I currently have a black work piece ongoing as well. So I'll take some time over the next few days to introduce all of those to you. If you've managed to last this far, thank you very much. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you've enjoyed it, and I will hopefully speak to you tomorrow.